This morning, on December 28, 2025, the world awoke to the heartbreaking news that Brigitte Bardot, the timeless French icon whose beauty and spirit redefined freedom on screen, has passed away at the age of 91. Her foundation announced that she died peacefully at her beloved home in southern France, following a period of declining health that included hospitalizations and surgery just months ago. No specific cause has been shared, but those close to her spoke of a quiet end for a woman who lived so fiercely. Tributes are flooding in from across the globe, fans remembering her as the ultimate symbol of youthful rebellion, animal lovers honoring her lifelong fight for the voiceless, and an entire generation reflecting on how one pouty smile and tousled hair changed everything. It's a loss that feels personal, like saying goodbye to the very essence of a more uninhibited era. To understand why her passing resonates so deeply, we have to go back to the beginning, to a girl named Brigitte Anne-Marie Bardot, born on September 28, 1934, in the elegant 15th arrondissement of Paris. She grew up in a comfortable, conservative Catholic family, her father Louis an industrialist running factories, her mother Anne-Marie a woman of refined tastes who encouraged Brigitte's early love of dance. From age 7, Brigitte trained rigorously in ballet at the Conservatoire de Paris, dreaming of the stage under the guidance of demanding Russian choreographers. She was shy as a child, even struggling with amblyopia in one eye, but there was always a spark, a restlessness that hinted at the wildfire to come. By 15, a family connection led her to model for Elle magazine's cover, and suddenly the world noticed this brunette beauty with the enigmatic gaze. It was there, in the fashion world, that fate stepped in. She caught the eye of a young assistant director named Roger Vadim, and at just 18, against her parents' initial wishes, she married him in 1952, stepping into a life that would never be ordinary again. Brigitte's rise was meteoric. Vadim directed her in God Created Woman in 1956, a film shot in the sun-drenched fishing village of Saint-Tropez that exploded onto screens like a revelation. Her barefoot mambo, her unapologetic sensuality, it scandalized some and liberated others, turning her overnight into an international sensation, the original sex kitten as the press dubbed her. She starred in over 40 films through the 1950s and 60s, from light-hearted romances like La Parisienne to deeper works like Jean-Luc Godard's Contempt in 1963, where her raw vulnerability shone, or Viva Maria alongside Jean Moreau, earning her acclaim far beyond her looks. She even dipped into music, releasing albums with playful, sultry songs that topped charts, collaborating with the likes of Serge Gainsbourg on tracks that still whisper seduction today. But fame came with shadows, multiple suicide attempts in her youth, the relentless glare of paparazzi, and a feeling that the spotlight was devouring her soul. At 39, in 1973, she walked away from it all, retiring at the peak to reclaim her life. Her personal world was as turbulent as it was passionate. Brigitte married 4 times, first to Vadim, who launched her career but couldn't hold her heart forever, then to actor Jacques Charrier in 1959, a union that brought her only child, a son named Nicolas-Jacques in 1960. Motherhood was complicated for her. She openly admitted she wasn't cut out for it, leaving much of his early upbringing to his father's family, though they later reconciled in adulthood. Her third marriage to German millionaire Gunter Sachs was a whirlwind of glamour from 1966 to 1969, filled with yachts and jet-set adventures. Finally, in 1992, she found lasting companionship with Bernard Diormale, a businessman with strong political ties, and they built a quiet life together until the end. She had no other children, and while her romances, with co-stars, musicians, even fleeting affairs, made headlines, it was her independence that defined her relationships most. In her later years, Brigitte channeled that fierce energy into something profound: animals. She once said she gave her beauty and youth to men, but her wisdom and experience to the creatures who needed her most. In 1986, she founded the Brigitte Bardot Foundation, auctioning off personal jewels and memorabilia to fund it, campaigning tirelessly against fur, seal hunts, bullfighting, and animal testing. She became vegetarian, wrote letters to world leaders, and faced arrests for her protests, turning her fame into a force for change. It wasn't always smooth. Her outspoken views on politics, immigration, and culture drew controversy and legal battles, but her commitment never wavered. Financially, Brigitte lived comfortably without excess. Her net worth was estimated around $65 million, built from film royalties that still flowed decades later, book sales including her candid memoir Initials BB, and savvy property choices. She owned La Madrigue, that iconic waterfront villa in Saint-Tropez bought in the late 1950s, where she retreated with her dogs, donkeys, goats, and cats, a menagerie that grew into a sanctuary. There was another historic home in Cannes she eventually sold, but her lifestyle was reclusive and simple. Long walks on the beach, caring for rescued animals, reading, and occasional interviews from her sunlit haven. No red carpets, no parties, just the sea, her husband Bernard by her side, and the causes that gave her purpose. One touching detail many don't know, even in her 80s and 90s, she handwrote letters to supporters and sketched ideas for her foundation, staying involved until the very end. As we come back to this moment of farewell, Brigitte's passing at 91, after those recent health struggles including surgery and hospitalizations, feels like the close of a vibrant chapter. She outlived many contemporaries, mourned friends like Alain Delon just last year, and even her ex-husband Jacques earlier this year. Yet her legacy endures in every image of effortless allure, in the animals saved because of her voice, in the reminder that a woman could live boldly on her own terms. She taught us about embracing desire without shame, about finding new purpose when one life ends, and about fighting for the vulnerable long after the cameras stop rolling. Brigitte Bardot wasn't just a star, she was a revolution in human form. If her story stirred something in you, perhaps a memory of those classic films or admiration for her later courage, give this a like to keep her spirit alive a little longer. And if you'd enjoy more journeys through lives like hers, subscribe and join us. We've got so many more to share. Take care, until next time.